This video is a quick refresher on the basics of MLA internal citations. Remember when you're doing research and you are writing your responses, you need to include internal citations that document exactly where you're pulling your quotes and your paraphrases and summaries from. If the information is not original, if you use the information from another source, then I need to know each time that you do that and from which source each piece of information comes. And you do that through internal citations. Also, formal research papers do also need a works cited page. We're not going to worry about that in this video. I really just want to focus on the citations themselves. So, first of all, for the most basic, we have our book source. If you include the author's name in the sentence with the information that you need to cite, then you only need to include the page number. So for instance, Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. And you see in parentheses 263. A couple things I want you to notice. Number one, I have included the author in the sentence. That would be Wordsworth. So I do not need to include his name again in the parentheses, which is the citation. Notice that the quotation marks are used because this is a direct quote. If this were a paraphrase or summary, we would not need those quotation marks. Also notice the placement of the internal citation. It goes outside of the quotation marks, but inside the end mark, inside the period. You should never put these outside of the period. We do not want any floating citations. They need to be encased within the sentence that you're using the information. If you do not include the author's name in your sentence, then it needs to be included in the parentheses. So, for instance, romantic poetry is characterized by the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, Wordsworth 263. Notice no comma between Wordsworth and 263, no P or PG designating page. Very simply, just the author's last name, a space, and the page number. Again, the end mark comes after the citation. Also keep in mind, just as a reminder when you're doing citations, if you have a few sentences back to back in your response that are from the same source, you do not need a citation after each sentence. Instead, you need it after you're done with that particular source. So maybe I have 3 pieces of information, 3 sentences right in a row from Wordsworth page 263. I do not need to put Wordsworth 263 after each one 3 times in a row. Instead, after the last sentence, after the 3rd sentence, that's where I would put my internal citation. So that's what you need to do for a book. For online resources, it's going to be similar to a book source, except for you're not going to need the page number, since we don't really have page numbers on online resources unless we print them out, and then everybody could be printing out something different. So no page number, no paragraph number, nothing like that. If you do not have an author, because many times you will not, then you're going to use the name of the article that you're looking at online. And if by some weird chance there's no article name, or if you have 2 articles with the exact same name, then you should use the name of the website that it comes from. But you are only going to use the name of the website if you don't have an article name, or if you have 2 articles with the exact same name. And again, that's going to be very rare that that happens. However, if that does happen, do not use URLs, the web addresses, the www. etc. URLs should never, ever, ever be used in internal citations. So if you have a www. In your citation, it is incorrect. Placement of the citation works again, just like the book source, at the end of the sentence where the information is at, inside the end mark. If you have additional questions about MLA, internal citations, works cited, anything like that, a good resource to go to, and where I pulled today's examples, is from a website called the Owl at Purdue, and I have the website listed there for you. But I would recommend anytime you have a formatting question about MLA, or if you're using another style like APA, go visit the Owl at Purdue. It's a really good website, gives you a lot of examples and a lot of details. If you have other specific questions that I can answer, as always, don't hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. Thanks.